And welcome. We are live. Welcome to the Talk News YouTube channel. My name is Obafemi Makinde, and this is, of course, the 2026 FIFA World Cup coverage starting today on Talk News. We have 4 days to go, or 3 days to go ish. We are nearly there, and to that game between Mexico and South Africa in Mexico City. There at the Ciudad de Mexico City, Mexico. It's a big day, and we're starting our coverage today. Today, on the schedule on Talk News is we are going to have our predictions today, and please give me a moment here. Okay. So, our theme for this World Cup is dreams, drama, destiny. For the first time this tournament of old, we played in a country more than one. The United States of America, Canada, and Mexico. Countries dream, drama unfolds, and destinies are forged. But still, the question remains, can Argentina successfully defend their title? The bookies favor Spain, but let's not forget the others, who include Portugal, Brazil, Belgium, and the Netherlands, and of course. But who will be world champion? And can Ronaldo finally do it? Of course, the man is 40 years of age. Can Ronaldo do it? Well, we'll all cover that during this show from the 11th of June to the 19th of July, when the World Cup final will be played in New Jersey at the MetLife Stadium. We're going to cover everything, and again, dreams, drama, and destiny. Again, this is the 2026 FIFA World Cup coverage. Our theme for the World Cup is dreams, drama, destiny. For the first time, this tournament of old will be played in a country more than one: the United States of America, Canada, and Mexico. Countries dream, drama unfolds, and destinies are forged. The question still remains: can Argentina still successfully defend their title? And the bookies favor Spain, but let's not forget the others. France with Elise, Mbappe, Dembele, Brian Cherky, and Co. Portugal, Ronaldo, Vitinha, Bruno Fernandes, Rafael Leao, and Co. Brazil, Neymar Jr. is back. Neymar is back. And also Belgium, Jeremy Doku, Kevin De Bruyne, and Co. The Netherlands have Virgil van Dijk, Xavi Simons, and of course, and Co. And we also have some other people or some other countries, I would say, that can do it. But of course, the question is, will they, or who will be the world champion? And can Ronaldo finally do it? The man is 40 years of age. Can he do it? So that's what we're going to cover throughout this tournament from the 11th of June to the 12th, or not the 12th, the 19th of July, when the final will be played at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, New York. So, hi to everyone that is joining us from around the world. This is a Talking YouTube channel. And of course, today is our FIFA World Cup predictions. So if you're on the short form, please join us on the long form on the channel. Go over to our page and you will see the other one going live or at the same time here, so you can see my prediction. So without further ado, we shall begin. So Group A, we have Mexico, South Africa, Korea, and Czechia. Mexico, South Africa, Korea, and Czechia. So it's very interesting, this. Let's start with who I think will be top of the group. Of course, the top two make it through to the round of 32 automatically. But of course, we have 48 teams. This is the biggest World Cup ever recorded in history. So, having that in mind, we have a third place system in place where we have 12 groups. And of course, the top two in those 12 groups will qualify automatically. That's 24 countries. Then we still have 8 slots to fill. So we will pick, of course, FIFA will pick the top 8 teams out of 12, the top 8 third best place teams, and they will go through. So let us begin. So I feel, just going off feelings and vibes, Mexico should be top of this group A. Second, it's between Korea and South Africa. But let's not forget Sheka. Sheka, of course, they don't have any standout player except for Thomas Sochek of West Ham. But Korea, Koreans, like, they are doing very well at the moment. And Ayuda, the striker, and the other world class players, they have a lot to offer. But South Africa, of course, one of the best teams from Africa, from their name, of course, you can get it, is going to be close. And going off, I truly believe that Korea will edge things. Korea will edge things with the finish second. South Africa will finish third. Later on, I will pick my 8 best third place teams. So, Group A, I'm saying Mexico first, second, Korea Republic, third, South Africa, and fourth, Czechia. Moving on to Group B, we have Canada, Bosnia, Qatar, and Switzerland. Again, Group B, Canada, Bosnia, Qatar, and Switzerland. So, Canada, of course, a host nation. Of course, let's also get that Mexico, they're also a host nation. So that's why, one of the reasons why I'm putting them there in first position. But Canada in their group, I think the only threat here for Canada, the setting threat, is Switzerland for them. Because Switzerland, of course, they have a plethora of talents. Of course, let's not forget that Granit Xhaka also plays for his country, Switzerland. So they have a lot of players there. But of course, the obvious shout out from Canada is Alfonso Davies and Jonathan. What's his name again? Yeah, Jonathan David, who has had a disappointing season so far for Juventus. But in this kind or this kind of thing, or this kind of tournament, it can really kick off your career, or it can bring his career back on track. Of course, starting from Lille and Jonathan David. So let's just go straight in. So I feel, yes, Canada will play in front of their fans for the group stage games, but Switzerland will edge this and they'll finish first. Switzerland second. It's between Canada and Bosnia. Bosnia also have. I mean, there's no real threats there, but of course, the team is very physical. They have the most fouls, of course, committed in the qualifying for the World Cup, and like that, in terms of Europe, it will be close. But because of Canada, they are one of our host nations. Canada will finish second, and Bosnia finish third. Qatar will finish fourth. And the thing about Bosnia is if they can get enough points and crucially win against Qatar, Bosnia could go to the round of 32. Moving on to Group C, we have, of course, the almighty Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland. Again, I'll repeat that for you. Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland. So, I mean, it should be close. I mean, this is kind of the group of death. Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, Haiti. And let's also rely Haiti too. But of course, Haiti, I'm not, no disrespect to them, they would likely finish last. So the first position is between Scotland, Morocco, and Brazil. Brazil right now are quite iffy. Of course, they have Vinicius Jr., Neymar Jr. They have Matheus Cunha, who is in flying form for Manchester United. But Solomon McTominay, who they say is the Scottish Diego Maradona. But we'll see about that. The World Cup. This is the first. I think this is the first. It's certain that they're qualifying for the World Cup in a very long time. So Morocco should finish first in this group. So second, It is between Brazil and Scotland. And the way Brazil are playing now, I just feel like Morocco and Scotland will beat Brazil in the group stage. So Scotland should finish second and qualify automatically. Then you then have Brazil finish third and Haiti finish last. But if Brazil can get enough points, of course, they can still qualify via the third place teams. Moving on there, Group D now, you have the United States of America, the USA, Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey. The US, of course, another host nation. Of course, the final will be played in the MetLife or at the MetLife in New Jersey. Well, Paraguay, Turkey, they are very good teams. Do not underestimate any team. Maybe Australia, but even Australia can wreak havoc to USA. But let's just be honest and true. With Turkey having, sorry, not having UMass, having UMass and UDs, they should go through. Turkey finished first. That's for me. The US finished second because again, the home nation vibes, and it's between Paraguay and Australia. And I just feel like Paraguay have enough edge over Australia, and they should finish third. Again, third place teams can still qualify for the round of 32. Moving on, Group E, you have Germany. You have, I believe this is Curacao, the first ever appearance of the World Cup, and also uh, the smallest nation ever to feature at a World Cup tournament. So interesting. We have Germany, Deutschland, Curacao, Cote d'Ivoire, or they call them Ivory Coast, and Ecuador. So Germany right now are flying. I mean, the recent friendlies we're playing, they've been thrashing teams left and right. So I believe Germany should finish first, easily finish first. Well, maybe not easily because you do have a Cote d'Ivoire, and the thing is that I cannot be, or I can't always pick the favorite teams. There will be surprises, there will be shockers, but Germany at this moment they just have a bit too much for the other side. So second is between Ivory Coast and Ecuador. So it's going to be close. But in a game, I believe I think Cote d'Ivoire have just a bit too much for Ecuador because Ecuador they do have Moses Caicedo and Co. I just feel like it's going to be overwhelmingly too much. And I feel like Cote d'Ivoire should finish second, and then of course Ecuador third, and Curacao will finish fourth. So moving on to Group F, Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, and Tunisia. Tunisia, the women are playing so poorly, so poorly, and they should finish last because you have Netherlands, Japan, who do wreak havoc. Switzerland, sorry, not Switzerland, Sweden, who do have Victor Gyökeres and Alexander Isak in attack. But I still feel like Netherlands also have too much for the sides. But let's not underestimate Japan because they did beat Spain in the last World Cup. Let's not forget that Japan did beat Luis Enrique's Spain in the last World Cup. So I just have this feeling it should be Netherlands. I have this feeling that Japan will finish first. Then between Netherlands and Sweden, Netherlands are more balanced to finish second, and if Sweden finish third, and Tunisia will finish fourth. Moving on to Group G, Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. Belgium so far flying in their in their friendly games. And then you also have Egypt too, who are very good. You have, of course, Mohamed Salah, who has led Liverpool, of course, and Omar Mamouche. Then you also have Iran here. Iran, underestimate Iran. Iran, a very good side. Of course, they don't have a standout superstar, but they should, again, team coherence. They should be able to wreak some havoc and jab some blows to the likes of Egypt and Belgium. But I just feel like Belgium should finish first. I mean, that's a no-brainer. It seems. Hopefully, I will not regret what I'm saying in July. Second match is between Egypt and Iran, and it will be close. The game between Egypt and Iran will be close. But again, Egypt had too much star power. They're star-studded, and Egypt should finish second. Iran should finish third, and we'll see whether they do have enough points to get into the knockout round. So, Group H, the favorites. So, of course, I said earlier, they are the bookie, or they're favored by the bookies. Espanyol, España, Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. So this is another group that's very difficult. Of course, Saudi Arabia is the only side to beat the defending champions Argentina in the last World Cup in 2022. Of course, by 2-1 then. But Cape Verde are a very good side too. They were flying in the qualifying games in Africa. So don't write off Cape Verde. And then also Uruguay, still having Luis Suarez. I believe Cavani is still playing somewhere in the world and co. But again, I feel like Spain will just have too much power and too much quality to best off the rest. And of course, having the first, of course, Lamine Yamal, his first ever World Cup, he will destroy some players and he will score some goals. At least he will entertain us, I believe. This picture for his first. The second is between the remaining three sides. You have Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. Uruguay have been quite iffy in the last few World Cups, not really that consistent. And it's between Saudi Arabia and Cape Verde. And I feel Cape Verde should finish second. They should finish second. They will shock some people. And then last is between, or third is between Saudi Arabia and Uruguay. I just have a bad feeling for Uruguay this World Cup. Also, they are Darwin Nunes too. It's tough. I feel Uruguay should finish third. Then, the group of death. Group I, France, Senegal, Iraq, and Norway. France, Senegal, Iraq, and Norway. This is Iraq's first ever World Cup, and it's quite sad for them because this is their first ever group. France, Senegal, and Norway. It's going to be tight, but it's quite obvious. But I just feel like it's going to be close. And please forgive me if I get this very and awfully wrong. I just feel like Senegal. I mean, first place is between Senegal, France, Norway. Let's just go for the obvious here. I feel let's just go for the obvious. I don't stress anything. France finished first. Norway, Senegal. They finished second. Senegal should still be able to finish, of course, or to qualify for the round of 32 if they amass enough points. Then Iraq finished fourth. So sorry for Iraq. Oh, sorry. Give me a second here. Okay, yes. Okay, it's back in. So Group J, Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan. Jordan should finish last in this one. No disrespect again. So first, of course, you have a defending champions. I know Brainerd, they should finish first. It's basically to the same side that won the World Cup 2022. Of course, you still have at the moment, he's the greatest player ever, Lionel Messi. Of course, he's won all the trophies he has. Of course, or he has won all the competitions he has ever featured in, which also includes the World Cup. Argentina should finish first. Algeria and Austria for second. And it should. I just feel it should be Algeria. Then Austria finish third. Then Jordan finish dead last in this group. Moving on to Group K, of course, you have Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo. You have DR Congo. Then you have Uzbekistan and Colombia, of course, with Luis Diaz. Portugal is first, of course. They just have too much talent. They have too much class. Leao, Ronaldo, Pedro Neto. You have Vitinha, João Neves, Bruno Fernandes. It's first. Second should be Colombia. But you never know. The right of DRC, the right of DRC, I think they should get enough points and ahead of course, Uzbekistan. Moving on to Group L, England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. Again, England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. Croatia finished first. I mean, Croatia should finish first, but it's not really guaranteed. This is not really the same Croatian side of 2018 and 2022. We're going to finish third, 2022 Croatia. And for England too, are not that convincing at the moment. Of course, leaving out Phil Foden, Cole Palmer for the World Cup. Also trained Alexander Arnold, although he is injured. First, we've seen Croatia and England, and so far, up vibes. Croatia should finish first, England second, Ghana third, and Panama last, unfortunately for them. And yeah, that's why I see things. So, gentlemen, here, just put it in. If you're on the short form, please come over to our long form, still on the channel. So, we're on. So we pick the best third place teams, select 8 of the 12 third place teams who will go through to the knockout stage. Let's continue. Give us a moment here. Okay, so pick the best place teams. So we have, of course, the best place teams we have. We have Brazil, Senegal, Uruguay, Iran, Ecuador, Austria, Sweden, Paraguay, Congo DR or DRC or DR Congo, South Africa, Bosnia, and Ghana. Again, repeat the third place teams, which I did predict. Oh, with the Watch family says hi to Watch family. Again, I repeat the best third place teams according to my prediction. We have Brazil, Senegal, Uruguay, Iran, Ecuador, Austria, Sweden, Paraguay, DR Congo, South Africa, Bosnia, Herzegovina, and Ghana. So, Brazil should go through. Brazil should be part of those teams. Brazil, Senegal should be part of those teams. So I'm picking Senegal and Brazil. Uruguay to be tough. But let's scroll down and go the way. Ghana should be enough because in their group, I feel like they should get a win. They should get a win against Panama. So they should be okay. In Bosnia's group, they should be okay because their group doesn't really have that much quality in it. So Bosnia should be all right. So Africa also should be okay. Sorry, DR Congo should be okay. But then we have 2 teams to pick. So we pick it between Uruguay, Iran, Ecuador, Austria, Sweden, and Paraguay. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But I believe Paraguay will go through because of the quality of the group. They should get enough or amass enough amount of points to get to the round of 32. So then it's between Uruguay, Iran, Ecuador, Austria, and Sweden that get that last place in the round of 32. And I'm picking Ecuador based on strength. But that means I'm saying Uruguay, Iran, Austria, and Sweden will not make it through to the round of 32. So I picked Brazil, Senegal, Ecuador, Paraguay, DR Congo, South Africa, Bosnia, and Ghana to go through to the round of 32 out of the third best placed teams. So let's pick the knockouts and let's see what he has for us. Of course, in Boston, at the Boston Stadium, we have Germany versus Brazil. Oh my, we're already this early in the round of 32. We already have a juggernaut of a game. Germany versus Brazil. And right now, Brazil are playing. I just feel like Germany have too much for Brazil. Germany should go through. At the New York/New Jersey Stadium at the MetLife, it's going to be France versus Paraguay. And of course, one of our favorites for this tournament, France should go through against Paraguay. So at the Los Angeles Stadium on the 28th of June on Sunday, I'm predicting that Korea will face Canada, of course, who are, of course, one of our hosts. But I mean, Los Angeles is not in Canada. It is in the United States of America. But I feel like they will still have enough fans there, Canada, to of course urge them on or to cheer them on. With Korea, it does feel like they might be the dark horses. I feel like Korea might be the dark horses in this tournament. And I'm picking Korea to upset one of the host nations. So this will be our first host nation eliminated. Korea will go through against Canada at the Los Angeles Stadium. At the Monterrey Stadium on Monday, 29th of June, I'm predicting that Japan will face Scotland. And Japan versus Scotland is going to be tied because both sides have quality. But just feel like Scotland should have enough. Just Scotland should have that kind of sense and anger and determination and pride to represent their country and nation. So they should go through against Japan. But just go through, scrape through. At the Toronto Stadium, the 1st of July, of course, that's when we have 19 days to go of the World Cup. Colombia versus England, and Colombia. I mean, it's two sides really. Personally, I believe that they don't win the games they're meant to win, and this kind of game, I feel like it will go to extra time. And of course, Colombia have Luis Diaz, England have so many stars, but Harry Kane should do enough, and England should go through. At the Los Angeles Stadium, Spain versus Algeria. Spain, of course, our favorites. Spain should go through against Algeria. At the San Francisco Bay Area Stadium, again, at the San Francisco Bay Area Stadium, Turkey versus Bosnia. Turkey should be able to do it against Bosnia. They go through. Seattle Stadium, Belgium versus South Africa. Now this one's going to be tight. Oh. But again, you cannot favor the European teams. Again, but do not underestimate the African teams too. Belgium should have enough quality. And of course, having Doku go through your defense, there's not really much you can do about that. So they should go through. At the Houston Stadium, Morocco versus Netherlands, and it's another close game. Oh, what do I choose? Oh, who do I choose? Morocco should go through against Netherlands. Then at the Dallas Stadium, it is Cote d'Ivoire versus Norway. Of course, Cote d'Ivoire have talent, but Norway have Erling Haaland. Norway have Odegaard, Alexander Sørloth, Jørgen Strand Larsen, Oscar Bob, and it keeps going and going and going. And we also have Auschness. Norway should go through. At Mexico City Stadium, of course, Mexico will be at home to Ecuador and Mexico because I mean it is an American clash here, but again, Mexico should overwhelmingly take most of the stadium capacity. But Ecuador, of course, who are closer to Mexico than most nations, they should also have some players there to urge some fans to urge them on. I'm thinking, yeah, it should be Mexico, the host nation. At Santa Stadium, we have Croatia versus DR Congo, and Croatia ain't the Croatia we knew of in 2018 and 2022. So DR Congo actually have a chance here, and I just feel they should do it. It's Congo. Argentina versus Cape Verde. I think this one will be a close one, but again, Argentina should have a bit too much. They have Messi, Alvarez, McAllister, Nico Paz. They should go through Argentina. The Dallas Stadium, you have USA versus Egypt. Now, this one will be close. But it will be close. Why? Because USA will be at home. But again, Egypt should have enough quality. Mohamed Salah, Mamouche, and Co. They should be able to do it. Egypt. At the BC place, Vancouver, in Canada, you have Switzerland versus Senegal. Seems to be a close one. Senegal should be able to edge Switzerland at the Kansas City Stadium. Portugal versus Ghana, and it's pretty close. But I just feel like because of rather doing the vibes, Portugal should go through against Ghana. Let's go back to the top. We have in the round of 16 at the Philadelphia Stadium, Germany versus France. I mean, Germany, what a run they'll have to get to the stage. Germany, Brazil, if they beat Brazil, they will then face France. And then France will have too much for Germany. I mean, Olise, Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele, Ryan Cherki. You got Ekitike. Too much quality. No, I think Ekitike is going to miss a World Cup. But still, they still have quality. That's what I'm trying to emphasize. They still have quality. They should be able to do it, France. So France will beat Germany. Canada versus Scotland. I feel this might be the end of Scotland's run. A bit too much for them. Korea should beat them. Again, I just feel like Korea should be or will be a dark horse. Korea will go through. Oh, then round of 16, England versus Spain. And wow, this will not be easy. On Monday, the 6th of July, we're predicting at the Dallas Stadium, England versus Spain. Again, another close one. Another too close to call. But because of the quality of Spain, Spain should go through against England and knock out England to the side. Turkey versus Belgium. Now, Turkey have quality, but Belgium, of course, they also have quality. But Turkey should go through. Turkey should go through. They should go through. Aragule. Gimas. Then you have at the MetLife, Morocco versus Norway on Sunday, 5th of July. Oh, it's another close one. Again, because of that Norway and Viking factor, Erling Haaland, Martin Odegaard, Ausnes, Oscar Bob, Alexander slow loss. Norway should just go through against Morocco. Then at the Mexico City Stadium, Mexico versus DR Congo. Again, this is Mexico again at home. They should go through Mexico because they're home. Then you have Argentina versus Egypt. Now, this one will be a game to watch, and it will be very, very close. But this will be where I call it night for Argentina, of course, who are our defending champions. They will go out against Egypt in the round of 16. Egypt go through. Then Senegal versus Portugal. Close. Very close. But again, I mean, all this, it's so hard to call. But again, just because of the Ronaldo vibe, Messi out of the World Cup at this stage, I'm predicting Messi will go out of the World Cup. Portugal should do it. They go through. They Egypt versus Portugal at the Kansas City Stadium. Egypt versus Portugal. Oh, another close one for Portugal. But another factor is there. Starter factor for Egypt. Maybe it's final World Cup likely for Egypt. A little bit close. But again, the quality of Portugal, just a bit too much. It might go to extra time. Then, who will be our semi-finalists? Norway or Mexico? Both sides, of course, they try to make it this far in Florida at the Miami Stadium. Norway versus Mexico. And just because Mexico they are no longer at home, Norway should go through to the semi-finals. And then Spain versus Turkey, and this should be the end of Turkey's run. Spain should go through because of the quality. No brainer again. Then France versus Korea, and this is the end of the dark art of the dark horses Korea Republic. They should go out against France in the quarterfinals. So you have France versus Spain at the Dallas Stadium, and then you have Norway, Portugal Portugal should go through against Norway. I am predicting that Norway should make it this far to the semi-finals. We'll see if I'm right. Of course, later on during this World Cup series. Then this is basically the final. The two bookie favorites, 5-1, 6-1. Spain, France, Spain are our favorites. France have quality. This is a close one to call, and this could genuinely be the final. It has enough quality to be the final. And if this is the final, at the end, what's a final? What's a final? And because of the viewer's sake, this should be the final, France versus Spain. But we will see. And I'm predicting that France versus Spain. It's close. I think France will get to another World Cup final. Then Portugal versus France at the MetLife Stadium on Sunday, the 19th of July, 2026. It is Mbappe versus Ronaldo. Let's just clarify things. Let's go through the France national team and just show you the quality they have. I am going to read out the quality for you, or the players, their names, and you get what I'm trying to say. Let's start with Spain. Dani Olmo, Mikel Oyarzabal, Victor Munoz, Pau Kupasi, Lamine Yamal, Alex Grimaldo, Unai Simon, Martin Zubimendi, Fabian Ruiz, Yavi, Pedri, Eric Garcia, Rodri, Madon, Mark Pupil, Nico Williams, Jeremy Pino, Juan Garcia, Alex Baena, Ferran Torres, Madon, Pedro Porro, Cucurella, Jose Iglesias, sorry if I did not pronounce it right, Mikel Marino, Marcos Llorente, David Raya, and Emerick Laporte. What a team, Spain. But then, the front national team. Sorry for that. Mike Magnon, Lucas Digne, Lucas Hernandez, Theo Hernandez, Hernandez brothers. Again, let's repeat that for you. Mike Magnon, Lucas Digne, Luca Hernandez, Theo Hernandez. Not done, of course. Robin Rice, Desiree Doué, Warren Zaire-Emery. Not done. Kylian Mbappe, Aurelien Tchouameni, Yus Koundé, Ousmane Dembele, Ibrahima Konate, N'Golo Kante. Not done. Marcus Akuliche, sorry if I got that pronunciation wrong. Brady Barcola, Malo Gusto, Ryan Cherky, Michael Elise, Manu Kone, William Saliba, Maxence Lacroix, Jean-Philippe Mateta, Dio Upamecano, Marcus Thuram, Adrien Rabiot, and Prince Samba. Incredible. Simply incredible. Can you match that? Can you actually match that? The quality. That is something. That is absolutely something. Let me just repeat that for you so it can register in your mind. Let's start again with the Spanish national team. Of course, head coach Luis de la Fuente. Of course, captain Alvaro Morata. You have Emerick Laporte, David Raya, Marcos Llorente, Mikel Marino, Borja Iglesias, Cucurella, Pedro Porro, Ferran Torres, Alex Baena, Juan Garcia, Jeremy Pino, Nico Williams, Mark Pupil, Rodri, Eric Garcia, Pedri, Gavi, Fabian Ruiz, Martin Zubimendi, Unai Simon, Alex Grimaldo, Lamine Yamal, Don, Pau Kubasi, Victor Munoz, and Nicolas Sabal, Dani Olmo. The France, of course, captained by Kylian Mbappe. Of course, this is likely Didier Deschamps' last World Cup for France. Of course, we believe Zinedine Zidane will come in for the next one. And of course, let's just go through the team again. We have Prince Samba, Adrien Rabiot, Marcus Thuram, Dayo Upamecano, Jean-Philippe Mateta, Maxence Lacroix, William Saliba, Manu Kone, Michael Olise, Ryan Cherky, Malo Gusto, Bradley Parkola, Macanis Alekuese. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, so sorry for that. N'Golo Kante, Ibrahima Kanate, Usman Dembele, not done with this France team. Hughes Koundé, Aurélien Tchouameni, Kylian Mbappe, Warren Zaire-Emery, Desiree Doué, Robin Risse, Fier Hernandez, Lucas Hernandez, Luca Digne, and Mike Maignan. We actually went to the wrong team. We're going through Spain. Portugal, actually, to search that. Let's go through the Portugal team, because captained by Cristiano Ronaldo, the most capped player, 2026, capped for his side, top goal scorer, 143 goals, and of course, the head coach, of course, sorry for what I'm saying, for my stuttering. I'm sorry for myself. Sorry. Roberto Martinez, of course, captain again, Cristiano Ronaldo. So, this brings the Portuguese squad: Bruno Fernandes, Thomas Araujo, Cristiano Ronaldo, Jean Neves, Gonzalo Ramos, Diogo Costa, Renato Vega, Gonzalo Inicial, Samuel Costa, Nuno Mendes, Vitinha, Francisco Conceição, Diogo Dallo, Bernardo Silva, Ruben Diaz, Pedro Neto, Gonzalo Guedes, Ruben Neves, Nelson Semedo, Jose Sa, Matheus Nunes, João Felix, Ricardo Vero, Francisco Trincao, Rui Silva, Rafael Leao, and João Cancelo. To be close, well, I predict that our winners for the 2026 FIFA World Cup at the MetLife Stadium, of course, New York/New Jersey Stadium, on Sunday, the 19th of July, our champions will be Portugal. Yes, so they are our champions. That is my prediction. Thank you for joining us for the predictions. Of course, let me just take you through. So again, we're predicting that they will be our champions. Portugal will be our champions. Of course, this is 2026 FIFA World Cup. That country on top is from June 11th to July 19th for you. And again, thank you for 100 subscribers, because we're past that now. Well, I do not take this for granted, and I really hope this is something special. Thank you for 100 subscribers. Also, please join us for the opening match and the opening ceremony. Of course, our theme for this World Cup is Dreams, Drama, Destiny. Of course, the opening ceremony will be started by Shakira and Burna Boy, who will perform Die Die at in Mexico for the opening ceremony. So please join us for the opening match, the opening night, on the opening day for that one, Mexico versus South Africa, of course, plus our opening ceremony. Because this is the game we're talking about. Of course, Group A, Round 1, Mexico versus South Africa, and Mexico City, Mexico. Oh, and just so you know, this is our schedule for the World Cup. Talking to the schedule for the FIFA World Cup. In the group stage, we're probably seeing 13 group stage matches, live coverage. Of course, that should be 11 if you actually 11 live streams, but of course, covering 13 group stage matches. Of course, round 1, we're gonna bring you the most reaction. 7 games: Mexico versus South Africa. We have Brazil versus Morocco, Spain versus Cape Verde, Belgium versus Egypt, France versus Senegal, Portugal versus DR Congo, and England versus Croatia. In round 2, we're going to bring you 4 games: Scotland versus Morocco, Germany versus Ivory Coast, Spain versus Saudi Arabia, England versus Ghana, and in round 3, we're going to only cover Group I, the group of death. Norway versus France, and Senegal versus Iraq, the final day. Pardon me, so sorry for the misspelling for Senegal versus Iraq. Senegal has an E between the N and G. So again, promising live coverage of 13 group stage matches. Thank you for joining us today. And again, we are predicting Portugal as our FIFA World Cup champions 2026. Portugal, and Cristiano Ronaldo will leave that trophy and bow out of professional football on the back. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for 100 subscribers, and wish you many more, and wish ourselves and all of the of course, and all our countries the best of luck. And we will see if I'm right. Portugal will be champions. Bye bye.